12 campaigns, 2 finals, 1 shiny cup is the Europa League United's rescue plan or eternal safety net. Look, United have had 12 campaigns in the UEFA Cup / the Europa League. We've won 1, been to 2 finals, sir. We're going to 1 more. How are we feeling?
I mean, let's be honest about ourselves. We're the worst United side in 50 years since the team was relegated in the early 70s. But one thing we've seen even under the last manager, and even at moments, not always great, but at moments this season in the league against some of the top clubs, I think this team is generally full of a bunch of bluffers. But like, we can find our form, at least for glimpses in big games, and we just have an ability to step up in certain moments. And that is the only thing I think that's propelled us to this final in the first place. A bit of luck as well. You do need luck on your side regardless. But I think this team has shown that, like, when they name the stakes and the stakes are appropriate for them, they can step up for it. And that's what we're going to need for this last final. So we need to get bailed out. Last year, last year was terrible. And the FA Cup bailed us out, got us into Europe, got us some money, kept Ten Hag, but it did bail us out. If we could do that trick twice in 2 years, I mean, that would be unbelievable, because this is even a bigger coup. The stakes are probably even larger given all the fuck-ups they've made at INEOS. We need it, and I like it, sir. We got to channel the other Portuguese manager, because he was as pragmatic as he got. He was a cup winner through and through. He's a fucking big-time player in terms of managing style, in terms of getting his lads up for it, and he had players running through walls. If Ruben Amorim can channel his inner Jose Mourinho, I think we have every chance to win this cup, but we need that, like, ruthless mentality of, it's not all about playing the style that I have to play. Let's fucking win. Just go out there and win the game.
No, we learned that from Ole in 2021, the final in Gdańsk. Look, United, we've been in the Europa League / UEFA Cup competition 12 seasons from 1976 through the current year. Overall record, 49% win rate over 76 games in the competition. Obviously, we won it once in the 2017 final. Pogba and Mkhitaryan, our midfield Armenian, sunk Ajax 2-0. United complete the full set of major UEFA trophies. That was this with Jose Mourinho. A great win, a springboard that we thought this competition could propel United forward. And unfortunately, it didn't go that way with Jose Mourinho. Famously, we started this podcast after winning the final, thinking we would just go on to win all these trophies with Jose. And then he imploded famously, saying United doesn't have a lot of European history. We're building upon that history, and then Ole reached the 2021 final in Gdańsk, where we drew 1-1 with Villarreal. Famously, Lindelof allowed that ball over the top, header, goal, and then the 11-10 penalty shootout. Heartbreak with De Gea missing the pen. Absolutely brutal. Our deepest runs in the comp, like we mentioned, it was champions in 2017, runners-up in 2021. We hit the semis in 2020, lost to Sevilla. They've won the cup quite a bit, and Bruno has been our club's top Europa League scorer with 16 goals. Rashford leads in appearances with 42. We have been a Europa League side most recently. It's sad to say, or it's actually a benefit, because it's always an option to get into Champions League. I feel like the value of this trophy has increased since we won it with Mourinho. When we won it with Mourinho, it's very throwaway, but hey, we got the Champions League. I feel like the value of Champions League is increasing. I feel like the value of this competition is increasing. But the big change this season was the new format, and the fact that the third place sides from the Champions League didn't come into the competition.
Huge.
Made it almost easier.
Definitely.
So this could be the easiest run that we've had to a final in the Europa League. But we need it. We won it. We have a lot of history in this competition, and I feel like you got to have that 2-1 record in finals. The 1-2, no good.
No, it's no good. And also, like you said, I think every United fan would agree we've under-delivered in Europe over our storied history. Now, the peaks are incredible. The wins we do have, the 68,
No, we're not a serious European team.
We're semi-serious. So I think
Sir, you need the minimum amount of... I was going to say 5.
Yeah, 5.
I was like,
5.
Really, it's 6. For you to be a European club...
A giant. We are a giant, but
no,
not
we
Europe.
We're a giant, but it's Europe light in the trophy cabinet.
We're light.
Now, by the way, this doesn't count towards that, but 6 Champions Leagues, 7 Champions Leagues, then you're really on the list. You're really a European club. 3 isn't enough, and one of those Barca ones should have been ours. It's just, that's the trophy we want. There's a lot of trophies we want, the two most important, but that's a really big one. United, that another Champions League trophy.
And we could have won. We should have won. The one to win was the 09 one because that was we actually had a team that could beat that Barcelona team, and that was the manager. He got it wrong. He went toe to toe. He should have sat back and countered, and we would have won that game. I want us to play tactically astute and just try and counter, sit back, be brave, but also like be brave and holding the line and knowing that if you can hold your nerve, we can get behind Spurs and get some goals because this is everything. It's a chance to bail out our season. It's a chance to add a little bit of pedigree into our European, not in the side we want, but this gets you into the competition and at least gives us money to rebuild the squad and gives us hope because without it, we're living in hell. We're in a really bad place this summer. It's going to be like Bruno Fernandes will probably get sold to the Saudis. They'll sell one of Kobe and Garnacho.
I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think, but it will not be great. They're like lose it. There's too much on the line.
Too much on the line.
As a fan, there's too much on the line. But like, be honest. Would you rather trade a Europa League trophy for a top 4 English finish, or does silverware always come first? How do you feel about the Europa League? For me, it's actually rising. Maybe because United is getting worse. This competition is getting more important. But look, Hans and Franz, let's go win a Europa League. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment below, and we'll see you in the next Manchester United video.